Hey, what's going on, family? This your boy Josh. Hope everyone's doing well and staying safe through these crazy times. Check it out. 2021 is right around the corner, and this will be the last video that I'm doing for 2020. I really hope that you've enjoyed or was inspired by the podcast Just to Care for Gary. This podcast was something that I did for the people. I wanted to give a voice to the thought leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, politicians, everyday people, family and friends who had concerns, thoughts, advice, and could give strategies to people that might need it. Feel free to check out the podcast on my channel at Just a Kid from Gary or on any streaming platform. I would like to take this moment to thank each and every person that has been on this podcast and has dropped some gems, knowledge, advice to those who have tuned in. Here are some of my favorite moments from season 1. Check it out.
And me being from Gary I think it's a testimony within itself. The reason why, and this is something I really don't share with people, is I've been at gunpoint before. You know, I've been on the cusp of being shot. I've been on the cusp of going to jail. And a lot of people will look at me and say, no, that's impossible. And that's good. I want you to think that, because I want you to know that I am a product of the city, but what I've done and what I'm going to do is basically change that narrative for a lot of people who actually are just like me. And one thing I got comfortable with is being unique. I realized that.
Man, that's a word right there.
I realized that, bro. I realized that, it's okay, bro. It's okay to think and say, okay, I'm gonna do something different. And then I'm gonna put my voice and I'm gonna put my face on a camera where you can see me.
Growing up, you know, like you gonna go get a 6-piece or a piece of puff. People don't know about piece of puff. Outside of the Midwest, bro, people, not even Midwest, bro, like outside of Chicago, Indiana, like within that circle, people don't know about pizza puffs, bro.
Put the lemon pepper
with the mild sauce. They don't know about mild
sauce.
It took me a while to realize that too, man.
They don't know what mild sauce is.
Out west, bro, no, never heard of it.
The women, it was a lot of women, a lot of options to choose from. It was out of Indiana. I wanted to, explore something outside of Indiana.
The real term and the word that I'm trying to get at is self-reflection. Self-reflection is very, very, very key, because if you cannot look back at what you've done or where you want to be or even who you are, you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost. So that self-reflection is huge on looking at yourself and saying, dang, what am I doing right now? Where did I want to be? Who am I hanging around? What are my goals? What are my dreams? Who am I trying to impact? Who am I doing this for? What is my why? Why am I doing this? And I think that was real big at that point, that I had to literally answer those questions to myself.
Go for it and get your things in order, get your mind in order, trust in yourself, trusting and believing. And when you really take that leap, and you're not you're not so comfortable with having other things like this, kind of a crutch, or I'm working my job, but I'm gonna still do this. When you take that leap, go all in with it. Educate yourself daily. Stay creative. Stay creative.
Gary is a predominantly black city. You know what I'm saying? Never interacted with a white person in my life. You feel me? Moving here, going to North Central. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even going to middle school here also. You know what I'm saying? I had to adjust. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of times I got in fights and shit like that, because that was the type of shit I was around. You feel me? But I had to adjust, especially, I would have to say, me going to North Central probably saved my life, because of the fact that it taught me how to be more diverse. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I was used to one thing, you know what I'm saying? But coming to a different culture in a different city, it was a whole different light. You know what I'm saying? A whole different light.
It used to kind of scare me, but I would sit in interviews, whether it be for an internship or when I was younger as a professional. And, the individual sitting across the desk, obviously, in no case did they ever look like me. But they would ask a question, and it always felt like there was a skepticism around the question. And that question is, do you love construction? Do you love construction? And it always, I could just feel a skepticism around that question. And granted, you know, I didn't grow up on a construction job site. My father, he didn't own a construction company. My grandfather, he didn't own a construction company. Some of the guys I went to school with, they grew up on job sites. They grew up, you know, running Bobcats and John Deere's, what have you. I didn't.
Right.
So when I was asked that question, I would always feel intimidated. And I would feel as if when I said yes, because I just want that job. So I just say yes. And I always felt kind of dirty, like one, that I was lying. And then two, I just didn't feel good enough because I could feel the skepticism around the question, do you love construction? Now, 10 years later, I realize as a black man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't love construction, I am construction. I am construction.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Straight up.
That's crazy.
So something to deal with candy. And one thing that makes a lot of money but doesn't need a lot of time are vending machines.
I feel like we have a similar mentality because I was just talking to my mom and saying, you know what would be really cool? All these new hotels have came up around the area. What if we bought a vending machine and just put one in each one and just packed it with great snacks and made a profit? This is crazy.
So yeah, definitely. That's all I had to say. You jumped right on that. You already. I think that's really.
I just felt like your whole business plan.
You told it all. The entire thing.
Even more than this, man. My goal is to impact the life of the person. You know what I mean? Like, it's great that it'll impact the community, but if they take these principles and apply them to life, just like you did, you know what I mean? That changes the trajectory of a person. If you can say, okay, I just need to beat this thing, if you can just get that foundationally set in your mind, the sky's the limit, because now you have to do is work on excellence, work on quality. You know what I mean?
What are the difficulties behind, like, you know what I'm saying, doing something like that? So if we have listeners here who saying, I want to do that, you know, I want to create content. How can they do that?
For sure. So that's the thing. I'm getting to that point now where I'm working out all my kinks, you feel me? And it's becoming like, you know, I know how, you know, like it can be, I don't want to say it's running itself, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's
automation. Automation, yeah.
Automation. You feel me? We're getting there. So, but I would just say in the beginning, you definitely want to try to build your consistency early. Like I remember I didn't have a trailer. That was pretty cool. And when I got the trailer, I'm like, this is something that's hit. You feel me? I need you feel me? A good logo, start off, you feel me? I would just say make sure you're branded A1, you feel me? Off back, you feel me? Branding is definitely key. Building my brand, living my life. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Building my brand, living my life. I like that.
See, you don't get that at PWIs unless you create those like groups and organizations. But just like that natural energy, PWIs, we didn't really get that. I was at Ball State. But I created that energy within my friend group because I felt like we needed that. So respect.
I could see you being that person too.
You said what?
I could see you being that person.
Easily. Every time. I push my friends even to this day. With that being said though, we talk about like in college and like meeting, you know, people and people that have been able to push you. During college, for me, I met my business partner that I now have, you know, started a couple businesses with.